A teenager with an unusual laugh. A spreadsheet enthusiast. A man who saw the future hiding inside a dial-up modem. Long before same-day deliveries and smart speakers, one person quietly set in motion a chain reaction that would reshape how the world buys, reads, watches, and even builds software. His name, Jeff Bezos. 1964, Albuquerque, New Mexico. In a modest hospital room, a child entered the world without any hint of the scale his life would later reach. His mother, Jackie, was still a teenager. His biological father soon disappeared from the picture. A few years later, a Cuban immigrant named Miguel Bezos adopted him, giving Jeff not just a surname, but stability. From early on, curiosity defined him. He dismantled toys to see how they worked. He obsessed over science fiction. He didn't just imagine the future, he treated it like an engineering problem. At Princeton University, he studied electrical engineering and computer science, a pairing that sharpened both his technical instincts and analytical mindset. But graduation didn't launch him into instant entrepreneurship. Instead, he chose the safer path, Wall Street, the comfortable life he walked away from. Bezos built a strong resume: finance, technology, startups. Eventually, he landed at D.E. Shaw & Co., a prestigious firm known for blending algorithms with investing. By age 30, he was a senior vice president. High salary, bright future, no obvious reason to leave. Then came a statistic that changed everything. The internet was growing at a staggering rate. To most people, it was an interesting trend. To Bezos, it was a once-in-a-generation shift. He listed potential online businesses. One idea stood out: books. Not glamorous, not flashy, but perfect for a digital catalog. Millions of titles, easy to ship, universally standardized. So he did something that looked irrational. He quit. A road trip with consequences. Bezos and his wife, Mackenzie, left New York and drove west toward Seattle. During that journey, he drafted the blueprint for an online bookstore on a laptop balanced between gas stations and highway rest stops. The company almost had a very different name. Eventually, he chose something vast, something symbolic: Amazon. Not just a store, a river meant to grow. From garage to global. 1995, the website went live. Early operations were scrappy. Orders were packed by hand. Desks were famously built from cheap materials. Every dollar mattered. Growth came quickly. Customers weren't just buying products, they were buying convenience, selection, and time. Bezos made a bold decision many retailers feared: letting customers publicly review products. Transparency built trust, and trust built loyalty. By the late 90s, Amazon was expanding beyond books, music, electronics, toys. The vision was widening. Then the dot-com bubble burst. Stock prices collapsed, confidence evaporated. Many dot-com darlings disappeared. Amazon's survival was anything but guaranteed. Bezos responded with discipline, cutting costs, tightening operations, focusing on efficiency. It wasn't glamorous leadership, it was endurance, and endurance paid off. 2005 brought a move that baffled competitors: Amazon Prime. Fast shipping for a flat fee. Critics saw risk. Bezos saw behavior change. Prime didn't just attract customers, it reshaped habits. Shopping became faster, more frequent, less comparative. Convenience became expectation. In 2007, Amazon introduced the Kindle, a device that transformed reading from paper to pixels. It wasn't just about hardware, it altered publishing economics, distribution models, and consumer behavior. Behind the scenes, Amazon was solving its own scaling challenges. Those internal tools evolved into Amazon Web Services. What began as infrastructure support became the digital backbone for startups, enterprises, and governments. Retailers competed with Amazon's storefront while running on Amazon servers. From company to ecosystem. As Amazon grew, it extended into groceries with Whole Foods Market, media through the Washington Post, and live streaming via Twitch. The brand was no longer confined to shopping. It was becoming infrastructure for modern life. With dominance came criticism over labor conditions, competitive practices, and market power. Lawmakers and regulators began asking difficult questions about influence and fairness. Bezos, once a niche tech founder, was now a central figure in debates about capitalism, technology, and responsibility. In 2021, Bezos stepped aside as CEO, passing leadership to Andy Jassy. No dramatic collapse, no forced exit, just a transition. Freed from daily operations, Bezos shifted focus to Blue Origin, the aerospace venture he had been nurturing for years. Because before e-commerce, before cloud computing, there was a teenager talking about space colonies and orbital habitats. His former wife, Mackenzie Scott, redirected her fortune toward large-scale philanthropy, funding education, equity initiatives, and nonprofits at historic speed. Bezos pursued long-term bets on space technology and exploration. Love him or criticize him, Bezos helped redefine how we shop, how companies build software, how fast we expect the world to move. Amazon was never just a business, it was a mechanism, designed, tested, optimized. And for Bezos, it may have been only one chapter in a much larger story. Because for some founders, Earth was never the final destination.